Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. Just, quarantined.
Yeah, I'm quarantined too.
Yay! I mean, the developers in the world are, pretty able to handle this, I think.
Hmm.
Where in the world are you?
I'm in Berlin.
Oh, nice. Have they locked down, like closed everything, and you're not allowed to really go outside?
Oh, what? No, not that kind. I quarantined myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I quarantined myself after FCC, but now, like in Barcelona, no one is allowed to go outside unless you're going to get groceries.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like military in the street.
And what about the people who work at groceries?
Yeah, obviously, or if you're going to work, but basically, police are all over the place and they will stop you and ask you where you're going. If you don't have a good answer, they will fine you.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Benjamin.
Hey Griff, how are you doing?
Great, man. Uh, how's South Africa dealing with the quarantine?
We're used to it. We've had water shortages for the last few years, power cuts for the last few months. So this is just another thing to add, I guess.
Nice. Well, no further ado, I have been working a little bit on the GitHub issues. There's still a lot more to do, but have you guys checked out our Common Simulator project?
I've seen the issue. There wasn't much else that was said there.
So I just sent it in Telegram. And I'm actually figuring out how to add projects to it. But this is kind of where I'm hoping we can coordinate in the GitHub and say I'm taking these issues or whatever. So I figure it's a good place to start.
Yeah, I had a look at the issues. I was quite interested in the issue of having a task queue for the cadCAD simulations. I think, yeah, obviously breaking down the cadCAD model is also important. But so how far has I think it's Sem Bressels? Yeah.
Yeah.
How far has he got with actually getting the cadCAD to run? I mean, there's already a sort of front-end UI based on it, or?
So yes, actually, and we can check that out really quick. Where is that? It works. It's commons.ipfs.technology. Do this, and we could even, if you want, we could test it really quick and see what happens if everyone tries to use this at the same time.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Let's see. So maybe I'll share screen.
I'm just switching across from my phone to my laptop. I had some network issues.
Okay. I know we can build a sustainable commons. I believe it. So it's a little slow, but and if you guys want to try to do this as well, just
I already did something. The support and influence and conflict thing doesn't work.
Support influence. Oh, you mean in advanced? Yeah, the advanced stuff doesn't work. I mean, this is
No, I mean like when the It's not in advance. It's under results when the dots come up on the right. How come you don't see that? Okay.
When the results come up. Okay, so now I'm there. I don't know, maybe when someone else is at this, we can hit the run button at the same time and see if it crashes. Because that's the real piece. But I mean, this website, I'm not really sure exactly what works and what doesn't, but Sem had this is Sem and Fabio's work. And Sem connected cadCAD to the front end of this. So when you move those things, you really are adjusting some kind of parameter in cadCAD.
Cool. I've got it open on my side. So when you're ready.
Yeah, you see the run button?
Yep.
Okay, let's 3, 2, 1, click. Oh man. Who knows what happened in the back end?
There you go. I got a result.
You got a result?
Yeah. I got some bubbles on the right.
Oh,
Not too many errors, just a type error on my side.
yeah. See, for me, it's trying to submit the data, but nothing's happening.
Okay, I'll let you submit first this time, and then I'll submit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fail to finish. Is this the part that you said was broken, Andrew? Right here?
No, that's not what I meant.
It takes a second to load.
Ah, yes, this part. If you
Yes.
choose,
So this is the advanced tab.
no, I didn't
So-
open the advanced tab. See the support and influence, like underneath the results.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't change anything.
yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a work in progress.
Very much so. And that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. That I hope you guys don't come. I mean, maybe if you have some questions for Fabio or something, but it'll be a different track. Okay, so I'm going to click run.
Cool. I've got mine ready.
Clicked.
So something I just wanted to clear up with one of the cadCAD devs is why exactly they can't run concurrently. Because my feeling is if you have separate Python processes and you spinning up cadCAD in each, unless they're sharing some sort of shared, I don't know, storage or resource on the computer itself or the server itself, I don't know why you couldn't, apart from maybe the server not being able to handle multiple simulations with CPU and RAM and all that stuff. But who do you think the best person would be to chat to about that?
Yeah, I actually asked Marcus, and he said that he pinged He has no experience with web apps with the cadCAD. I'm not sure what that issue refers to. He also wouldn't expect any parallelization issues, but yet like this was like why we got into. I mean, I remember block science like getting quotes for like 80K to solve this issue.
Wow.
So
Okay.
whatever it was, there was like it's like a really real showstopper on building web apps with a cadCAD backend.
So,
I think that's just kind of like, you just have to put green unicorn on it, right? And then it's like any sort of normal um, um, WSGI hosting problem. Because, you know, there are like, just like with PHP, you spin up a particular process to handle a particular request, and then that's it.
so Griff, I think the parallelization issue they were talking about there is something that is specific to a single cadCAD model run. So when you run the model, I at one stage also asked whether it was possible to parallelize vectorize the actual calculations. And I think that might be where the issue lies, rather than in having sort of multiple sessions per user, like what Andrew mentioned now.
So you're saying, well, why don't we just deploy a separate like Python simulation for each user, right? Like, and then
Yeah,
use the
so per request, you know, if someone comes and visits the website, you have a separate request, which can have a separate Python process, whatever server we decide to use. But I think there's two separate issues here. One is what we're talking about, which is multiple sort of web sessions. And the other is parallelization of the actual calculations to make things run quicker.
Yeah, I mean, this was for sure what like the reason this project got like slowed down so many months was because we were trying to solve this this one issue of a web app with a cadCAD backend having one cadCAD server, one implementation of cadCAD could only run one simulation at a time.
Okay.
I don't know why. I have no understanding of why that's a problem, but like it has been a pain in my ass for the last little bit. So I wish I had more info. But
Well, I think that makes sense as well, because obviously if you have a server, you know, any more than, I mean, even my desktop with a very good GPU and CPU struggles sometimes with some of the cadCAD simulations. So I think that is, you're 100% right. I mean, that is an issue in itself. You know, if you've got 100 people on the server, it's not going to manage that unless you know, spending thousands on a sort of computing.
and even for some reason, it's like if 2 people, 3 people are using that cadCAD server at the same time,
Yeah,
it's not even like, oh, it uses up a lot of resources. It's like it grinds to a halt. There's some kind
I remember that happening. Yeah.
I at least this is maybe it's improved because this was also most of this conversation was happening in October, November, December. So maybe they've improved it a lot. But are you in the block sci Slack?
No, I'm not.
I am, but not on this computer. So I need to like.
Wait, stupid question first. What's wrong with porting this thing to JavaScript and having it run on every client computer instead?
Well, cadCAD has a differential engine, like games engine. It's doing this whole crazy simulation that is all in Python. So for the first part of everything, it is all JavaScript. All the graphs and all the things that come up end up being in JavaScript. But then this is supposed to pop up. Did it pop up for you?
Um,
This is
no.
supposed to. Oh, sorry. What then?
I got 2 images, trigger function maps.
Oh, it's the next one. There should be 2 graphs that are. Huh. I wonder if the server is like broken at this point. Or what happens?
So what exactly is being calculated that needs pandas, or is it just like, so it really needs pandas?
No. It needs it needs cadCAD. And so cadCAD is going to run a complete simulation where it's like, okay, hundreds of transactions are going to happen. This is how everything reacts to those transactions. There's all these agents that are going to have like an experience. And we're going to simulate this experience of 100 people interacting with these smart contracts, and we're going to simulate that whole thing, and the price is going to change based off of every single individual user's action, and every time that price changes, that's going to influence all the other behaviors, and it's like it's a very complicated simulated real experience.
Okay, fair enough.
It's probably overkill kind of for almost everything, but like not economic design, right? That's the idea.
What is the budget for hosting and running this server?
That is a fair question. I would take proposals. I think in the past we weren't paying. I think we were only paying less. We were paying less than $100 for running a cadCAD server for a month. But like, I mean, I'm open to whatever it needs to be. In the end, yeah, I mean, it just depends on what it needs to be.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the one solution that was suggested, the Redis queue. If that is the case and you've got, say, 10 users on the server, you're going to have to, user experience wise, have a little countdown timer giving the user an estimate of when, you think the simulation data will be ready to view, which is something to mention to the front end guys.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you just do one simulation, it happens in like 10 seconds. So not even. But if you have a few people, and we can probably even trim that down. But if you have maybe 3-4 people, it's 30 seconds. Maybe you can have like just like some cool things flying. We don't necessarily have to tell them exactly how long it's going to take, but just keep them entertained with some pretty pictures.
Something else that we could do is, obviously there's only, okay, let's say you choose advanced, you've got 4 parameters. You could,
yeah, we're gonna totally skip advanced.
Yeah, so you could start like caching the solutions themselves, so that if 10 users come on and all select the default settings and click run, you don't need to calculate that 10 times. You can send the result and then cache it, which will help a lot, I think. And I think that the sort of queue solution could fit into that quite nicely.
There's also this library called Modin. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's like a multi-threaded pandas.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I don't know if cadCAD is using pandas under the hood or only for post-processing of the actual data. But I think those sort of libraries that you're mentioning, Andrew, are like exactly what ideally they would implement in cadCAD, but it's probably quite a big task.
Yeah, it's something like rewriting a lot of major components. With the with your point though on the like kind of a caching solution, there are some randomness. So there's like randomness in it. So like if someone uses the same variables, they might get different results. I mean, we could make it so they always get the same results. That's something that is kind of up to us too on when we build this and how we want to. I'd say it's in the scope of the cadCAD team really to decide with our simulation what we want our user experience to be.
Yeah, something to consider. You know, if we do run into big issues, you could consider not randomizing it.
Yeah, or just like, you know, once it's ever been done once, then boom. I mean, in the end, we don't actually imagine very many users. The only problem is that there will be these occasional times where we promote this. We send out a tweet or we talk about it in a live stream and send out the link. And then all of a sudden, oh, there'll be a surge of like 5 people who want to use it at once. And I mean, that's basically the scope of the problem. Oh, what happens if 5 people use this thing? And then there's just a desert for 2 weeks. like it won't be something that I imagine a lot of people will use a lot of times. It'll just be something that people play. I don't know. Maybe we should plan for success to some extent, but yeah, I think a simple queue of just like, oh, okay, well, guess what? You gotta wait your turn, and some kind of awareness of when cadCAD is ready to accept a new submission is gonna. I don't know if it's the optimal solution, but it's the simple solution.
Yeah, and if you, I mean, this might be going out of scope, but if you want to display something to the user while they wait, you could display the other user's data, the other user's simulation. But
oh yeah,
I mean yeah, I mean, tracking user sessions is something that webs, it's quite a common task, so I think you might be able to do that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, just show. Oh, by the way, this is what the last user submitted.
Yeah.
Check this out.
In 10 seconds time, you're going to be able to run your own solution, but for now, this is
yeah. I mean, I think that'd be interesting, and then it gives them something to compare it with. One of the things that, and then we can make it fun too. Be like, oh my God, there's a cross in the timeline, and we're seeing the other users' cadCAD results in a parallel dimension. But I believe the idea is that when they see the results, they have to decide whether or not they want to submit the results for the high score and move on to the next level. So after they run cadCAD, they're going to get this opportunity, this like testing moment where it's like, do you think your results are good enough? And then if they say yes, then it gets submitted to high scores, and they see how they rank. If they say no, they go back and they modify their stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Gamifying it.
Yeah, Max had some fun gamifying. So yeah, well, what about procedurally? What do you guys need to start hacking on this?
Okay, so what needs to be done is to set up a queue, right? And what needs to next be done is to somehow optimize this cadCAD thing, right?
Yeah, so it seems like Ben is gonna try to tackle this queue question. I mean, and you seem like you really want to dive into cadCAD, right, Andrew?
Sure.
So for diving into cadCAD, we have something already up, right? That's running supposedly somewhere. I wish Sam was here to give you more of a breakdown. And maybe the best answer is to have a conversation with Sam, right? But he's been sick lately, so like I don't know, he hasn't been responding today. So so yeah, but we do have this really big issue, Andrew, that talks about all of the different inputs that we need to put in, and basically we need to take a cadCAD model. We kind of have like these 3 different pieces of our cadCAD model and combine them into one very trimmed down cadCAD model that's not for like public display, but more for backend, right? So take out all the graphs, take out all the other shit that like slows down the runtime, and then optimize it for our user story.
This is the build the common simulator models that I use the CV, Hatch, and ABC sims.
Yes.
Yeah, could you remind me of what their acronyms are again?
So
Oh,
ABC,
there, okay.
ABC is that augmented bonding curve. The hatch is just the beginning of the bonding curve, which is like the pre-sale, as Aragon calls it. But basically, it's where a bunch of people throw their money at the beginning, and then they bulk buy into the bonding curve. And then conviction voting, which is the governance system. And I think the other one is like, yeah, I think that's it. Just those 3. And so we need to combine those into one, which basically you can probably take what is already there and being used and just grab some pieces out of the hatch, grab some pieces out of the ABC and plug them in, because I don't think vesting is in there at all. There's a few other like more complicated pieces like alpha, which is part of conviction voting. And it's a kind of an abstract variable, but you know, we can't just have a user submit an idea for an abstract variable. So we changed it to be like 80% of max voting power, which is like how many days before someone reaches 80% of their max voting power in conviction voting. Like that's something that's a little bit more digestible. Still probably far off, but we need to somehow convert the user input for that into the actual
Alpha.
variable that we want.
So alpha is somehow related to 80% max voting power.
Yeah. Yeah. Alpha is like the decay rate of voting power. And also like growth rate of voting power.
Sure. Yeah, this is just what I like to do.
Yeah. This is a wild thing. And what I would ask, and it's cool, Juliet's here, what I would ask is that everyone track their hours, because we do these payouts every 2 weeks of sprints. And we basically just track hours, and then based off of how much overall work got done, we pay people out. And it's kind of a random thing. And right now we're just saying everyone gets basically the same amount of hours or same pay per hour. And that, but it's more like the idea is this is supposed to be an open source project and we're hacking on it. And now we raised some money, so let's just split it. But let's try not to get too bogged down on the money stuff. However, if there's ever an issue, dear God, we want to talk about these things in public. And we actually have like a kind of in our notes document, we have like an outline of how we do the budget. And yeah, so just track your hours, and then Juliet will hunt you down.
I can send you a link to the document. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'll send you guys a link to where you can input your hours.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's do most of our organizing in the GitHub. And just like, if I don't think our GitHub is really well set up for you guys yet, if you need some permissions or something, ping me and I'll make sure it happens. But yeah, I ranted too much and we're out of time. So do you guys have any last wrap up questions?
Yeah, so out of curiosity, since everyone's getting paid the same, how much is everyone getting paid?
It kind of depends on how much we get done each week. So like lately, the first week, I think everyone got like 18 DAI an hour. And then the second round, everyone got 23 DAI an hour. And it was just like, okay, these number of hours divided, Sam and I are just like, we probably made this much progress. Let's give everyone $500. And then it's split among everyone. And we have, for the 2-week sprint. But people haven't been putting in that many hours and we haven't been making much progress, or as much progress as you can see our current app. So, but now we have like the full Figma, and we have you guys working on cadCAD. Hopefully we'll make more progress and yeah. But it's definitely not, don't expect like a high paying job. This is definitely open source, like collaborative fun work, not
Yeah, I know. Just want to be able to say to put my name on this.
yeah.
Where's the best place to engage with Sam? I think some of these things we brought up, we can like add to the GitHub issues themselves, but you said maybe Slack.
Well, Slack is where block science hangs out.
Okay, so that would be maybe cadCAD specific stuff rather than the simulator. Okay.
SEM is definitely Telegram. Tagging, I think he's just really sick right now, honestly. So, because like he usually responds to me. I also have him on Keybase, which is where he's the most responsive. So if you use Keybase, that's also a place, but he's really responsive on Telegram.
Cool. Yeah, I guess before I scope anything out, I just want to catch up with him and see, what progress he's made already or what thoughts he has.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't done anything on the queue.
Okay, cool.
He's definitely done a lot of stuff on the cadCAD. So Andrew especially might benefit from a chat with Sam. I don't think Sam did a lot of research on. We kind of were like, oh yeah, we'll just assume no one's going to use it at the same time and break it, like we just did.
So,
yeah.
If I have questions, Sam is basically the only one I can go to.
Oh no, I'm. If you have, it depends on the question. If it's very specific to what has been done for cadCAD on this prototype, yes, Sem is the guy. But if it's about the overall system, or like or even the cadCAD simulation, I'm very much a resource. I just don't know how it's been applied in the already.
Okay.
And there's lots of other people. Just general ask the question in the CS Dev channel and before. Okay, well, I hope this sync was useful, and like we can continue chatting asynchronously for the most part on a lot of this stuff, and engaging in GitHub.
All right. Thank you very much then.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Griff.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Juliet, were you taking notes like last week?
Juliet? Oh, you're muted.
Otherwise, Griff.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I did take some notes. I'll add them into this main doc.
Okay, cool.
Otherwise, what are we gonna say?
Oh no, I was gonna ask where I can find that doc link again.
Oh yeah. I can. I'll repost it in the chat. I wasn't using the doc this time. I was keeping it relatively informal, but I'm glad there were notes and stuff. So, but anyway, cool guys. We'll talk more later this week.
Cool. Hope you guys have a great week. Cheers.
Stay healthy, everyone.
Stay healthy.